Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Shared Screens Podcast. I'm your host today, Alec Popko, and joining me, I got Chris, aka RumblePack92.
Yo!
And we got two very special guests with us today. Joining us from HBO Max, we've got Jose Ruckus and McKenna. How you guys doing today?
Hi! I'm wonderful.
Doing
How are
great.
you?
I'm putting in the title that we got the CEO of HBO Max right here on Shared Screens. But in like parentheses, it'll be like, no, the other one.
That's us.
How y'all doing?
Living the dream.
Yeah, doing great.
I love to hear it. Jose,
One of those Sundays.
mustache looking great as always, dude.
Thank you very much.
I've gotten to see it come to life over the past couple of years, you know, really come into its own, and I just want to tell you how, you know, it's I'm just so proud, you know, as somebody that can't grow a mustache, like I see that and like the power that comes from it, and I admire it. Of course.
Yeah, I just shaved my beard today because my sister's got a wedding here coming up on the 27th. So I had to get it down to the base, and then, you know, have it grow out over the next couple weeks and have it look nice.
Ooh.
You gotta set the tempo, you know, going into it. It's a full week out. Start shaving. You got to prepare yourself. You prepare family members for seeing you beardless, right? It's a whole thing.
I told my dad I wasn't going clean shaven because I'm already too much of a baby face.
I
haven't told my sister that, but
like my first job was I worked at Chick-fil-A. I worked in food service, right? And it was in fact my pleasure. And couldn't when I was working there, could not have facial hair, so I was shaving every single day. And I stopped working for Chick-fil-A like 9 years ago or something. And I think in those 9 years, I have not been clean shaven once. I just after all of that, I've just never fully shaved my face again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Makes sense.
To the point where it's like my entire 20s, I was never clean shaven, to the point where I don't know what I look like without one anymore. And the idea of seeing it scares me. You know, who knows who that man is?
This is the closest I've been to clean shaven in a while. But yeah, have not gone there. Yeah. But
I was just saying, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. This is the Shared Screens Podcast, where we don't have anything to ever talk about at all. We don't see each other enough, so we're like, what if one of our shows is just us hanging out so we can be together for a little while? So yeah, it means a lot you guys are here. I'm sorry that you caught me when I'm unfortunately quite hungover.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Super happy to be here. I know that there's been a couple times throughout like the last year where there's been talks about like doing a podcast together and stuff. And scheduling's hard, man. Things just always seem to fall through.
Yeah. Try it with like 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have, even just trying to get meetings together is like, okay, we could do this. And there's like 3 people that like can't do that day, just unavailable. Like, all right, well, what about this other day? And 4 different people are like, nope, can't do that day, sorry. And I'm like, I don't know. Why did we decide to do this?
Yes, I graduated from college in May, and I was like, I'm scheduling. Oh, thank you. And I was like, you know, life won't be that busy. Yeah, no. Life
gets worse, in fact.
Busy.
I was literally just going to say the same thing. It only gets worse.
Yeah.
And the years fly by.
In fact, it gets busier.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff when you have real responsibilities and being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
It's all bad. Everything about it's horrible. Like I know, you know, finishing school, super bright future ahead of you. I just want to let you know it does get worse.
Okay, great.
Just,
I can't wait.
You know, really stomp that into the ground before it gets started. You know, just
noted. I look forward to it.
That's it. Like, cool. Thank you. It's just crying, just like, it's cool. It's awesome. I'm glad I worked so hard.
It's hard to like pinpoint what was like the peak of your life where it was like minimal responsibilities but like maximum ability to do stuff, right? Because like when you're like a kid or whatever, it's just like, yeah, I get to sit around and play video games all day, right?
Time.
Got nothing to do. but you also had to go to school, which sucks. And then like, you
Yep.
don't have money. So you're just
Mhm.
sort of, you can't buy whatever you want and stuff. And then like that, right? Like 1920 is like, just like you can do whatever. You probably got your first job. You got a little bit of money. You have no real responsibilities in your life yet. You can just do whatever you want. It's great.
It was awesome. For me, that was like 20, 22, 23.
Mhm.
Where after I'd like already dropped out of school and all my friends were still in school, which just meant that I was just working. Right.
Yep.
And so, yeah, come back home to the apartment and, everyone's in class or whatever. And I'm just like, I have money and time for the first time in my life. And I spent that
What's that like?
playing video games and purchasing Magic cards. That's what I did.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
I look back and I'm like, I should have done more. Not the Magic cards, though. I don't regret that. That shit was awesome. And still is.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's still is. Aren't you like competing and shit now?
Yeah, I've gotten back into the competitive scene a little bit. Last I took a season off, but I qualified for the namings of their tournaments are terrible, but it's essentially like the US Championship for a season.
Yeah.
And then actually last night I went to a local tournament and qualified for this next US Championship. So
Ooh.
yeah, I'm getting back into it a little bit.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Where's the next Worlds at?
I don't know if they have like Worlds figured out yet, because Worlds just wrapped up a couple weeks ago.
It was like last month or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really fun tournament. But the next Pro Tour is in Chicago, and then I think there's a European Pro Tour after that, and that's what I'm going to be trying to qualify for. So I'm flying to Denver now in like February to play in this US tournament.
Okay.
Joke.
That's something I never.
You
Magic something I never got into.
Yeah, it's like it's a particular kind of thing because you have to be like, because I'm not really a video games person. I'm much more like, I prefer playing board games and tactical, like having things in my hands and stuff. So Magic was something that like really appealed to me because it's also just super dorky and you're throwing fireballs at people and it's my kind of jam.
I'm sure I probably would have gotten into it. It's just one of those things like, it was Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then it kind of just phased out of all that for a while. Yeah. And now I'm back in with Pokemon, the 151 collection.
That's what happens. That's what happens. It's like I'm out for a little while. I'm not doing it. And then there's like, man, that new set looks real good though.
Yep. That's how they get you every time.
Well, it was the Lord of the Rings one that just happened a few months back with Magic absolutely pulled me back in. Like I've been playing Arena all the fucking time and shit. Like
they've had some big collabs lately, right?
They got me, dude. There's this really sick Secret Lair set coming out that's themed after the Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm buying that one.
It looks awesome. It looks really, really good. I think they're doing like a Jurassic Park one as well, and I want to get that just so I can build a commander deck where I have Jeff Goldblum as my commander.
Yeah.
Just for that. It's the only reason.
The Doctor Who set just came out like this week.
Yeah.
They're definitely changing like sort of the strategy of the game, leaning into, people call it like the Fortnite of card games now, where it's just like
it is hitting that because like there was a 40K one. They did the Transformers. They've done a bunch of Secret Lair ones. I know there was like a Street Fighter. There's my boy Post Malone is in the game.
He got his own one.
Like,
he's in everything, I feel like.
He just opened a new Canes in Dallas.
Really?
And it's like Cowboys themed. So there's like a bunch of cowboy stuff. He's got like one of his like on stage. He's got like one of his stage costumes and like some of his guitars like hanging up in there and stuff. Wow. Like my man's owns 2 Raising Caneses now. What's the plural?
If you're gonna own a franchise, Canes
Raising
is the one to own.
Raising Caneses.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I agree though. Any franchise, it's got to be Canes, man.
Yeah.
Is it Raisings Cane?
Raising. Hold on.
He has 2 Raisings Cane.
It is raising. Yeah. Multiple Canes is Raisings Cane.
There was a Cane's down like 2 blocks away from my apartment when I was in school, and it was very dangerous. I went at least once a week, sometimes twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how I was feeling.
I don't think we have any
Absolutely.
of those around here.
We're about to get
really?
one in
You
my
don't have any Canes
hometown.
up in Michigan?
Excited.
At least not on the west side.
I
I
was
think
gonna
they
say
might over on
we're
the
so close
Detroit
though.
side.
Yeah, that
Get
might make
one.
that probably makes sense. The next time you visit, dude, I'll take you to Cane's, bro. It's a life changing experience.
It
First time you have
is.
that cane sauce, it hits different, dude.
Oh, so
It's
good.
on that like in and out kind of where it's like super simple menu, so the food quality is like pretty high, and it's but also still like
Gotcha.
surprisingly cheap.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Cane's is not too small. You can get a lot of food for like $13 to $15. Like,
Yeah.
I mean it's a really
Okay.
solid amount of food. Now the secret to really enjoying Cane's, I think, is just understanding that the food, like I said, food quality is good. It's all tasty, but in reality, the food there exists essentially as a delivery service for the Cane's sauce. Like that's why you're
Yeah.
eating
I
there.
mean, like
Oh,
most
yeah.
Be
fast
like, I'm
food.
taking my fries, I'm taking my chicken, I'm taking my toast. It's
Mhm.
all going in the Cane's sauce.
Yeah. We had a family friend graduate from high school a couple months ago, and at the graduation party they just had like hundreds of the little Raisin Cane sauces, like specifically just for the graduation party. It was. I thought about sneaking a couple home. I'm like,
That's so sick.
God, it's unmatched.
That's so sick. Have y'all seen? I can't remember if it was just like a publicity thing or if there's like a specific venue that does it, but there is like a Taco Bell wedding package. Right.
I've seen it. I've heard about
where,
that.
like you can like get married at a Taco Bell or something. Like I've seen like because you said the
Interesting.
sauces, they have like a bouquet that's all like the different. It's just sauce packets.
That's amazing.
and like I've thought about it. You know, I was like maybe when I renew my vows or something, look at fucking Taco Bell.
Look, because they have the those cantina, like where they have like the bars and all that, right?
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah,
Again,
I've never
don't
been to
have
one. I've
those
gone
there.
by the one in San Francisco a couple of times, and I've always kind of been
Okay.
like, oh, maybe I should check that out. Maybe that's something we should do because we're going with your boy Jim Tasty to Vegas next week.
Yeah, TwitchCon.
Ooh,
So maybe
yeah.
we'll make a stop at the Vegas Taco Bell Cantina.
The Vegas one is the one I've been to, and it's very cool.
Ooh.
It's like multiple floors, like outdoor bar, like it's kind of crazy.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
It's wild.
Get some crazy with some Baja Blast.
You can get Baja blasted while you're there.
Oh, let's go.
You know, absolutely. The one thing I would just, while we're on the Taco Bell thing, I don't think it exists anymore. It was only around for a limited time, but Taco Bell did have a resort in LA where it was literally a
okay.
Taco Bell hotel. And they had like, you know, these pool floats again in the shape of like sauce packets and stuff.
That's
like
awesome.
the sheets look like the fucking like the Dorito Locos taco shells and stuff. It was like this bright orange. Like I mean, it looked so cool, and it had like a swim up bar and everything, and all these like, you know, photo ops and pennies on the wall. It doesn't exist anymore, and I'm so sad that I never got to go because that was like a bucket list, to the point where I don't think you can even like Google it. It's like it only exists in like the videos of the influencers that went there while it was around. Like that's the only way that you can experience it anymore.
Got to go to Taco Bell's archives in their HQ.
Yeah, we gotta sneak into the vault.
I feel like that's
Mission
beginning to
Impossible
become like a pretty common experience. Is like a company will release a resort or like special thing, and then it's like influencers go there for 6 months, take a bunch of pictures, and then it closes down. Like the Star Wars hotel.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot
Right?
about that.
That was
It was just insanely
Oh
expensive.
my gosh.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
I think the Vegas Sphere is going to be like that. Where
there's
like
no shot
the ticket prices for that are so high, like it's prohibitively expensive. And I've heard that they're just like losing money hand over fist for it. So like the Sphere is just going to be like this weird thing that like we all know about.
Like a month.
We never got to experience it, but you know, you see the TikTok influencers videos of it.
Well, I mean,
what they need to do for like just like a day, just be like, hey, here's like just to make it just a green sphere, and just hey, have fun with it. Before they shut it
video
down.
editors, good luck. Here you go. What's so funny about that is that when they were building it, I mean, obviously, question number one is why.
Yeah.
To which the answer was, oh, it's going to be a concert venue. There's going to be stuff on the inside of it. I was like, okay, cool. It's super extra, but that's Vegas, I guess. And since then, like, obviously there was that video of like U2 playing in it, right? Because not only is a video wall outside, it's a video wall on the inside. And like absolutely crazy venue. It's super, super cool. But then like, have you heard of anyone else that's played this thing since? Have they had one concert in the Sphere?
Not that I've heard.
Yeah, like, you don't really hear much about anything going on at the Sphere. Like, it's just you see pictures of the outside. That's all it is.
What wacky thing do they put on the outside of it?
Yeah. It's just humanity's like monument to all our sins at this point. It's just kind of showing off the hubris.
I think I saw somebody Photoshop it to the Death Star.
Oh yeah,
I want it to happen so badly. I need it to happen. Just one time, just do it once and then never again.
Star Wars Day, boom.
But before it, no longer exists in like 5 months.
Yeah.
Biggest Sphere concerts. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna look at the Sphere's schedule online here. Shows. All shows. Let's go. Oh god, it gets worse. The Sphere experience starts with Aura, our real-life humanoid robot who will take you on a tour into the future of technology. You get a tour of the Sphere from a robot. And it looks like the iRobot robot, by the way. Like it's
no thank you. Oh, thank you.
Part sci-fi history, part nature documentary. Postcard from Earth takes advantage of all Sphere's experiential technologies to make you feel like you're anywhere but Las Vegas. That's also the only thing that's on its schedule.
That's the only thing on the schedule. Nobody else is
you can just go get this thing. Now there is a listing for the U2 show that already happened as well. Oh no, I lied. They will be playing at the Sphere next weekend, actually.
So like U2 is like booked out,
but it is U2
for
So U2 are the only ones allowed to play the Sphere right now.
I feel like those are the kind of acts that could like get away with doing it right now, right? Like a legacy act that has like a built-in fan base of older people who can afford these ridiculous expensive tickets.
Oh yeah, it's U2. I could see. I think it's a matter of time until Coldplay plays in the thing, right? Like
I could see that.
Well, I mean, U2 got that Apple money from when they put the song on.
I was just gonna say they're the only ones that can get away with doing that too.
It was the whole album. I woke up to my phone one day to just have this U2 album on my phone. Because you're not an Apple guy, Alec. It was the strangest thing. And what was even funnier is
I heard about it.
Is that you couldn't delete it.
Nope.
Yeah.
It was just there forever until people complained enough that they were like, fine, we'll let you get rid of the U2 record. It's the strangest thing because like,
well, that was right as like the Apple Music was like really trying to like re-kick off his streaming service and stuff like that. So they were, I don't know why U2? Like
I don't know. I was like, that was when I discovered. I was like, they're still around. Like,
you want one of the
music? Oh my god!
One of the funniest things in a movie. And I really wonder what this is, if it's like a screenwriter who is like way too old or if it was a script that sat around for a long time. But the movie Taken with Liam Neeson, right? The premise of that movie is that his 18-year-old daughter, and this came out in what, like 2008 or something?
It was like 08, 09, yeah.
Is going to be, his 18-year-old daughter is going to be following U2 on tour across Europe. And that is not a thing
was that actually what it?
Yes,
that was the reason they were in Europe.
Yeah, she was following U2 on concert, which is not a thing any 18-year-old was doing in that time.
No 18-year-old in 2008 even knew U2 existed. They don't know who that is.
Couldn't name a single U2 song.
I did not remember that part of the movie. That's so fucking funny.
I just remember her dad was Liam Neeson was like some bodyguard for some popular singer or whatever.
Yeah,
Granted,
that's like
wild scene in
the
movie.
opening scene is like he takes care of some pop star or whatever. But it's yeah, I've always wondered if it was like, was this like a script that was in product, like they had the script for Taken like kicking around for like several years,
Like
and
since
that
the
part of the
90s.
script just like that just aged out of like relevancy, or if it was just like an older dude who was like, I don't know, what's a popular band? U2.
It's like what they did was they got on Google and searched music, and like U2 was the first thing that popped up.
What
and they went, music. Yeah, this is fine. let's have them go after this.
Bush.
When
Brown.
Yeah, Kane Brown is the first thing that I get
Kane Brown.
So Kane Brown, the definition of music. Don't even know who he is.
Never heard of him, but he is music.
He can feel it.
he can feel it.
Yeah.
Going back to the YouTube thing, it's so funny because like, especially as a gamer these days, it's the amount of various like terms and conditions that I agree to playing video games, getting on threads, like doing all this thing, like whatever. It's zero privacy at this point. Like there are like billionaires out there who could probably access anything about my life that they would ever want to, because I've agreed to all of this. And yet I still think the largest like security violation was Apple putting that U2 record onto my phone. That's the one that upsets me the most out of anything else. There are advertisers out there that know more about me than I do, but that's the one thing that I hate the most, which is just, please don't put any more music that I don't want on my phone. I'm begging.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened. I was in middle school, and I didn't.
Oh God, I was in college. I'm so fucking old.
I was already dropped out of college.
I think I might have been out of college already at that point.
And I remember seeing it in because my Apple ID was linked to my dad's. I was like, my dad's got a U2 album for some reason, downloaded on my phone too. And then hearing about it, like when I was in high school, I was like, oh, everyone. That was everyone had that.
Everybody woke up to like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What
is
like,
this? Wasn't it on Christmas or something? Or
September 2014.
Oh, okay, not Christmas. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, because I think it had come with like whatever that newest version of iOS was. Like they had a big OS update, and that was.
So I think
that the YouTube album was just baked into it.
I think that was when they switched from iTunes to Apple Music.
Apple
I think
Music,
that was
because that was the big launch of their like, hey, we're streaming now too. Like we're going to become a Spotify competitor. Yeah, and not only was it wasn't just that the YouTube album was added like to your music library, it was downloaded on your phone, like so you could listen to it offline. And you could not. Yeah, it's like whew.
This is from
crisis averted.
Forbes. It says to release U2's album on iTunes for free, Apple reportedly paid the band an undisclosed royalty as well as committing to a marketing campaign for U2 worth $100 million.
So that's how they
made
afford
bank
the
off
Sphere.
of that. Yep.
Yeah, that's how they rented out the Sphere for the month of October.
Just $100 million for marketing.
That's
crazy.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
U2 really got away with one there.
Oh yeah.
I know. Dude, they got shit tons of money, and everyone in the world had their music for a second.
I feel like the only time I hear people talk about U2 now is when they're talking about that album. Yep. So it worked.
100%. Or because they also had those like, didn't U2 own like the Red products, like brand Red for a while? Am I crazy?
Did they? I don't know.
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it might have been like I think that was like Bono's company was Red, which is also why they were like partnered with Apple, why they had so many like Red like iPhones.
Gotcha.
Right.
Basically.
Oh, interesting.
Oh. Wow, the more you know.
On the Sphere's website, they call U2 the world's biggest rock band. And I don't know if I agree with that.
It could be like biggest.
Yeah.
There's only like
old people like them. Yeah, like rock music's dead, so
Don't remind me.
You two can be the biggest rock band.
Don't remind me, bro.
It's probably like, one of those like triple asterisk, like, tons of disclaimers of like, this is this reason, like still alive, still touring.
Yeah, they have all the original members.
Yeah,
probably.
That's another one of the asterisks.
I think.
I can only name 2 members of U2, so
I know Bono. Who's the other one?
The Edge.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
no, that's right. Okay,
you got the Edge.
Yeah. So, have you guys seen? And I can't remember this chick's name.
Taylor Swift.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys heard of this Taylor Swift chick? No. Apparently, she's dating this football player. It's getting crazy. No, who is the she's like a teenage musician that really blew up, like Olivia something, I think.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo, yeah.
You. So I was at my in-laws like a week or two ago, like watching football, and have you guys seen that Olivia Rodrigo commercial where they like filmed entirely on iPhone?
Yeah.
The camera, and of course the camera pans out and there's like millions of dollars worth of like rigging equipment and shit that they're also doing. Yes. But you too can do it at home with your phone. But we were watching that, and my mother-in-law starts going, she's like, oh, I think that Olivia Rodrigo chick is so annoying. I was like, why? Because of the Paramore thing that happened a little while back? She goes, huh? And I went, okay, so it's not that. She's like, no. She's like, I just hate, I listened to this song because of this commercial, and it's just so like kids music these days is just so inappropriate. It's all about like, breaking your ex-boyfriend's car and doing all these things and just like encouraging kids to do this stuff. And I was like, Sheila, you went to go see Motley Crue in concert like a month ago. What do you mean? Sitting there acting like your generation didn't invent inappropriate music.
Like it's the iconic clip from Back to the Future. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I just thought that was so funny that I'm sitting here and I'm like, what age will that happen to me? When I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I sure do hate all this kids music, like objectifying women and glorifying violence or whatever. Like when do I start coming? And then, my kid is going to be like, didn't you listen to Drake growing up? And I'll be like, shut up. Like, what is there a particular time that happens?
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be like the content of the music is like, they're talking about bad stuff. I don't think I'll ever be like that, but I do feel like I'm already like the old man, like, the new music just sounds terrible to me.
It's already happening, huh?
It is. Like, I listen to a new song, like whenever like a new rock band, like a new rock band will be like starting to get really popular. They'll have like a couple of songs that are like getting radio plays. This happens like once every couple of years, right? Whatever like the new hot pop punk band is or whatever. And I listen to it and it's so garbage. like it's the drums that normally do it for me, where it's so overproduced. It doesn't even sound like a real drum kit. It might as well be a MIDI kit. And I'm just this sounds like dog shit.
A lot of times it's not. a lot of times that drummer was not in the studio.
Yeah. It just like, I don't know. I always thought like the point of rock music was that it was like a more physical thing, and that it was less production values and like more of like, less auto tune, all that stuff. And now it's just like,
I mean, most like if you're looking,
sounds so
on,
generic. It all sounds the same to me now. I don't know.
And
I'm old.
If you're looking at like the popular like mainstream like radio, the huge like whatever, all of that stuff, like rock music has been dog shit for like 20 years now. At this point, like it has not improved like since Blink-182 and Sum 41, like that was
a couple weeks ago. I was traveling to one of these Magic tournaments, right, trying to qualify for this Dallas tournament. And on the way back, I'm in the car with the guys I've been working with, and they're all these big Panic at the Disco fans, I
Ugh.
guess. They're all super into Panic at the Disco. And they
I'm
put
so
on one of
sorry.
these later Panic at the Disco albums
So
for
bad,
like
dude.
half the drive. And I'm losing my fucking mind because it sounds horrible.
It's horrendous. And I mean, part of that is because like after like 2 albums, like Panic at the Disco just became the one dude.
Yeah.
Like it was just
Yeah.
it's just the whatever the fuck his name is.
Mhm.
And it's kind of that like Star Wars prequels, like there's nobody around to tell George Lucas no, you know,
Yeah.
to where like
Mhm.
you know Mr. Disco walks into the studio and he's like, I'm making all these decisions, everything's gonna be electronic, I'm writing all of it, and everyone else is like on the inside they're like, we don't want that, please don't do that, but no one's gonna stop him. I really don't like New Panic at the Disco.
I really did not enjoy myself listening to it.
No, a lot of the stuff that kind of sits like in the mainstream, like just really just it is not good. It's really really generic, especially if you look at like Octane on Sirius or whatever. It's, you know, it's all Five Finger Death Punch and Avenged Sevenfold and bands that have been around for like 20 years now at this point, that they're still trying to market to people, and they're like, why aren't kids getting into this? It's like, because they're all like 80 years old. Like they're like rock doesn't have stars anymore, you know.
Mhm.
If you get onto the underground side of stuff, like a lot of like the punk and hardcore and shit that I listen to, there's lots of really really great like new bands out there. But I mean, you know, it's really aggressive and screamy and not the kind of thing that you're gonna hear in the
Not radio
Vegas
worthy.
sphere. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm not gonna see the Devil Wears Prada in Vegas anytime soon. On the inside of the sphere, can you imagine that? Oh my god, that would be so cool. And yeah, it is just this weird thing to where like I think the popularization of hip hop like changed so much about like the popular scene of music, that there's so many rock bands that are like, well, we got to try and get these kids that like listen to rap music or whatever, and it becomes overproduced and really gross sounding and just like doesn't work, man.
Well, I think it was like you had guys like Rick Rubin who, you know, were like the best producers at the time, and they were working on rock albums. Like he was doing Slipknot at the same time he was producing Jay-Z albums. And I
Oh
think that
yeah,
there
because
was
he's
just
incredible.
that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's like one of the best music producers of all time, but I think there's just that just led the way of like the homogenization of the way
Mhm.
music sounds.
A lot of it's really flat, and I do like your note on drums as well, because like
It drives me nuts,
I
man. Drives me
can't
fucking
fucking
nuts.
stand
Mhm.
it, dude.
You know, the only like new music that I actually genuinely like, a new album comes out and I think, wow, this is actually it's country music. There's so much good country music coming out right now. It's insane. Like, I don't know if you guys listened to Tyler Childers at all? Tyler
I
Childers?
love Tyler Childers,
He's
dude. He's so
amazing.
good. He's
Like
really really good, because they're
him,
and
Sturgill Simpson, like
Sturgill
there's
Simpson, I
all
was gonna
like
say, yep.
there's Chris Stapleton's fantastic.
Mhm.
Like there's this new wave of like country music coming out right now that's just really, really
I
good.
started listening to Stapleton after his performance at the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I heard him. I was like, "Damn, this guy's really good."
Yeah, they're great.
Which so funny. In the last like year, 2 years or so, I've sort of had my country music awakening. I was never really into it until like this recent wave of all these artists, right? Um, and as a big like fan of the more like punk genre side of stuff, like going back and listening to a lot of they have a name for like this subgenre. It's like outlaw country.
Outlaw
I think
country.
is what they
Yeah,
call
like
it.
the
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Willie Nelson, Johnny
Mhm.
Cash,
Mhm.
what's his name from Bakersfield? Waylon Jennings.
Yeah. I've been getting really into that sort of stuff alongside all these other artists that we just mentioned, and I was like, oh, this was just, it was punk music for rednecks. It's like some of the most like anti-establishment like hardcore shit you'll ever hear, and I need to go find. I have a playlist here now. Hold on. Da-da-da-da. So like speaking of outlaw country, do you listen to Coulter Wall?
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, Coulter Wall. I really had to recommend. But it is just this sort of thing to where Similar to rock music, I think for a long time, because I've had friends that are super into country forever, where they were all kind of saying the same stuff, like that, yeah, like pop country is just not doing it anymore. It's all so like bland and washed out and generic and all this stuff. And then suddenly there's this sort of like this second coming. You know, Tyler Childers, Zach Bryan, like Colter Wall, like all these dudes like coming and just absolutely killing it. I don't know if would you consider Noah Kahan country, or is that more like a bluegrassy?
I think it's all within like the same movement of what's going on. It feels a lot like country music is having its like a little music history, because I'm a dork about this stuff. But like punk music had like its rise in like the late 60s to the early 70s, and then like immediately died out and just got consumed by the record labels. It's what's called new wave music. And then new wave dominated just like all of the 80s. And like the late 70s, the 80s, like all the punk musicians, like the Clash started putting out new wave records, and Blondie started putting out new wave records, and it just like destroyed the punk movement or whatever. And it wasn't until like the 90s that punk got back to doing its own thing with like Nirvana and stuff. And it feels like country music is having that now. Like I love Shania Twain, but like she helped like absolutely destroy country music for like 20 years.
Big time.
Yeah. And like, yeah, country, I hated country music when I was growing up, because it was just like, I call it hick hop. Like just that,
hick hop, yes sir.
Yeah, the country rap stuff, it's fucking terrible. But like country music, like these newer country artists are starting to like sort of take back their own, you know, style of music, and they're starting to get popular, which is really cool.
I might start giving that a listen then, because the last time I was like into country music was like the early 2000s.
Early 2000s, like, country was really good.
That's when I
like that was like the Toby Keith, Big and Rich, like those kind of like like that kind of era, to kind of give you guys a little perspective. And that was mostly because that's what my cousins who babysat us listened to. So it was just kind of one of those like I had no choice in the matter.
Yeah, that's how I was. That was the radio station we listened to in the car. Yep. So it was like, and now my sister, she's still into country music. She loves Reba, so I know a lot
Reba's
of Reba.
Great, yeah.
Miss McIntyre.
Of course. Oh, the queen herself.
My mom used to watch her show like every day.
Oh, we still watch it.
Yeah. It was really good. Like genuinely, it was very good.
It is.
I never hear anyone talk about it. It's so slept on.
Oh. You got well, it's not on like any. It's on like Freevee or whatever. Like it's not on any platforms. Gotcha. I don't think.
Yeah, I remember like the only syndication you ever saw, it was on the CMT, the Country Music TV. Yeah. They would play that shit like 24/7.
Oh yeah.
It's to the point though, where like that's kind of my touchstone for certain actors. Like when the one dude showed up in Shameless, I was like, oh, it's Van. I was like, wait.
I just watched Freaks and Geeks, and Cheyenne was one of the cheerleaders, and I was like, oh my god, it's Cheyenne from Reba.
It's so funny. It's a good show. Watch Reba if you have Freevee. Was that the
Freevee? I don't know. Just buy the box set, you know.
Media. You can't do that at Best Buy anymore.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's really annoying. Because they just started carrying like Criterion Blu-rays and stuff like last year.
Yeah.
And it's such a strange decision to me, because like I don't know too many people that are super. It's like I know like collectors who prefer to like buy their video games like physical and that sort of thing. But with video games, even if you're buying the disc, like you're still technically downloading the game. It's basically just checking that you own it. I've moved almost entirely digital to video games, but like if there's a movie or a TV show that I want to get, I'm still going after it on physical, just because. Who knows when it'll get like dropped off of whatever streaming service, right?
Yeah. So we've had this conversation on HBO Max. We've recently been talking about this a lot, because I've started to get back into physical media over the last year, because these streaming services are just like falling off a cliff, and just like stuff is disappearing like every single day. Like my favorite TV show of all time is The Venture Brothers. I have no way to watch that show right now.
It's not in there.
I have to track down the box set now.
And
wasn't it Bob Iger that just like one day it's like, hey, just these things are just gone from Disney Plus?
Yeah. And most of them were shows that never had a physical release either. Like they just don't exist anymore. There's the one really excellent show called Prop Culture. To where it's like it's this dude that like worked at Disney, or I don't even know if he worked at Disney or whatever, but literally he's like this film historian basically is like what he does, and he like hunted down all these people who like collect props or sell them or make them, and just had tons of like really really great like behind the scenes stuff. Like there's one episode where he managed to find like the costumes for all of the kids that were in like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and like showed it to them again, and got to interact with them and that sort
I've
of
seen
thing.
a clip of
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Just stuff like that. Like there's one really cool episode where they got to go into like the Disney vault of props, and so like they showed off like one of the giant like the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff. Like there were some really really cool things on it, and that show doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
It never had a physical release. It was on Disney Plus for like a year, and it's just gone. I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad about it still.
Yeah.
And so yeah, for Best Buy to be like, hey, like I don't know what else people buy at Best Buy. I guess we should ask Jordan. He used to work there. But like,
I feel like it's a TV store mostly, right? It's like it's where you go when you want a new TV,
right?
Yeah, I got a Best Buy story. We just went there on Thursday. And okay, hold on. Okay, so let me tell you
like a zombie apocalypse in there.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we were like one of maybe like 3 other customers. So we got the new iPhone 15s, and they came with their USB-C now.
Don't squeeze them too hard.
I know.
You saw that video?
Yeah, I'm so scared.
I feel like there's that every year, though.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah. The cable that came with them, super nice braided cable, but it's USB-C to USB-C, and we don't have the blocks. We have standard USB.
Yeah.
So now we're like, okay, I can't configure these 5 phones yet because I want to make sure they can charge before I turn these on. So we had to go out to Best Buy. We had to get 5 charging blocks. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. That was the first time I've stepped foot in a Best Buy in maybe 5 years.
Yeah, I had that same issue because everybody, you know, all the phone manufacturers now, they're like, nope, you're just getting the cable. You're not getting a new charging block. And I got a Pixel Watch, and same thing. That just came with the little like charging brick or the little puck that, you know, charges the thing, and it was USB-C. And like, I don't have a USB-C charging brick. I have a bunch of USB ones. So what I literally did,
it's criminal that these don't come included with these.
We just let them get away with this shit,
dude.
man.
I know.
I was so pissed when I opened that box. I was so mad.
It's criminal, dude. I can't believe they do it. And what's so funny is if I open my desk here, I have like an extra fucking USB-C brick because it happened to me the last time I got my fucking phone.
Yeah, it was only like 2 generations ago that iPhone switched from Lightning to USB-C. And you had to buy all new USB-C bricks, right?
Yep.
And it's just
it didn't come with the phone. It's like $30. Like they're not cheap.
They put it under the guise of, it's more environmentally friendly to not put a new charging brick with every device.
I still have to buy it. You still have to package it. It's like, what do you mean?
You're
it's helping
still
no
the
one.
one selling it.
Yeah.
So now I went in. I work part-time at NBC Sports Philadelphia, and I'm talking to my supervisor like, hey, do you have a good source for like USB-C to standard USB cables? He's like, I got a guy. And I'm like, okay, that sounds ominous, but listen, if you got free cables, let me know.
Headed to the park garage as a dude in a trench coat, like,
like what do you buy?
You want to buy a charging clip? I got USB-C and I got Lightning. What you need?
Yeah, exactly. It's got
you need
all.
that 20 prong. Old school iPod.
You need high speed or regular?
Got everything, you know.
That's all. That's what Best Buy is going to become, though, is just black market phone chargers at this point.
Oh yeah.
No movies, no video games.
the physical media takes up, at least at our Best Buy, such a big chunk of the store. Like, what are they going to put there?
That's the thing I'm wondering about, because Best Buys are not. You never see a small Best Buy.
No.
You know, they're all gigantic, and like the layout of them is usually like. I guess most of them do have like appliances, like washers and dryers and stuff too, which is very funny to me for some reason. On the back walls, like TVs, like right side, you have like computers, and then the whole middle area is physical media, like some, like, you know, headphones and speakers in like one aisle maybe, but then the rest of it is movies. 1 or 2 aisles for video games. There's that one aisle that's just all of the Funko Pops that nobody wants, and then it's DVDs.
It's so true.
The Funko Pop craze really fell off hard, didn't it?
Yeah.
Have you heard that they're causing like problems in landfills because there's so many of them?
Oh jeez.
Really?
Although I did see a cool one. I think it was from Wario64. He tweeted out. It's the Santa version of Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was like it looked like just like any other Spider-Man, like the pose, but he has a Santa hat and like a web bag.
Oh, I love that.
Cool.
That's very cool.
It was cool.
Nice.
That's very cool. I'm already starting to see some Christmas stuff around town, and I'm like, it's not Halloween yet. Like, give me some space at least.
Yeah, I think I saw a Christmas commercial recently. And I was like, it's September. Well, October now, but it was back in September.
We are well into October at this point, I would say. I
mean, literally halfway, right today.
Yeah. It's too early.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I used to work retail, and it was basically November 1st. Flip the Christmas music on.
Yep.
Like, and that's why when I worked in retail those few years, I never listened to Christmas music because I'd work an 8-hour shift and hear Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer like 5 different times. It's like,
that loop isn't very long. They make it for the customers who are there for 20 minutes, not the employees who are there for 8 hours.
Yep. Well, ours was, at least it was good because it was different variations of it, but still, you hear the same song. You can only hear that so many different times before you just go crazy.
I think that's part of my problem with the Christmas music too, is that there's not a lot of it. They pick like 4 or 5 songs. Every store picks the same like 5 songs. It'll be like you said, like different versions of it. But like if you're going out doing Christmas shopping, and you're hitting multiple stores, you're still hearing Mariah Carey like 4 or 5 times that day.
Mm-hmm.
You get in the car, radio turns on. There she is again. God damn it!
Although
my Bluetooth hasn't hooked up yet.
Shout out to the Bruce Springsteen "Santa Claus is Coming to Town."
Oh yeah, that's
always jammed out to that one at work.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've heard that one.
Oh, it's good.
Good stuff.
It's good.
Like, is it like, it's not like new, is it? Like,
oh no,
it's this would have been like
I'm
the 90s.
not a Springsteen fan really, but like it's kind of wild. It's I've probably heard it and just haven't really. I'm pulling up Spotify right now. Like, I'm not kidding.
Live reaction. Bruce Springsteen Santa Claus is coming to town.
Is Santa Claus is coming to town? That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna listen to it right now.
Yeah, it's a good one, but it's when you're used to just hearing all the like real classical and slower ones. Like, oh, okay, it's a nice little upbeat change.
I feel like we're not getting. Like there was that wave in like the late 90s, early 2000s where it was like big artists were doing Christmas albums. Yeah. And like
everyone had a Christmas album.
It was like a big thing. It was like a really common thing. Where is the Taylor Swift Christmas album? Where's Drake doing, you know?
I'll tell you what it is. It's
I need the Post Malone.
Pentatonics every single year releases a Christmas album.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like, why? Every single year. You've had to have done every song by now. Like, why?
So we were talking like rock music. There's this metalcore band that I'm a huge fan of called August Burns Red. They have been a band. They've been together for like 20 years, and across those 20 years, they have made like a Christmas song just about every year to the point where they actually have a Christmas show every year. They call it Christmas Burns Red, and they invite. It's like a 2-day thing. They invite a bunch of bands.
Nice.
So they I don't think there's like too many more songs that they can do, but there was a point where they were releasing like a new Christmas song every year, and it's one of my favorite things to listen to because they're big, heavy, like aggressive, screaming metalcore band or whatever. But they have this Christmas album that's all like instrumental Christmas metal, right? And so it was like one of the few times I could get my parents to listen to my favorite band or whatever, because I'm like, no, they don't scream in it. There's no lyrics. Like, it's fine. It's like the one time where I'm like, fuck yeah, Christmas music. The new August Burns Red Christmas song is out. And every other time, even if I were to hear the words, hey, Post Malone is about to put out like a Christmas EP, I'd be like, I'm not going to listen to that. I can't do it. Which is a lie. I would, but like your point is right though. Like those like huge pop Christmas covers from like the early 2000s are still the ones that are being played. There's not new ones.
Yeah. We've lost our way, man.
We used to be a country, God damn it.
We're not doing physical media anymore. We're not putting charging blocks in the phones anymore. We're not putting out new Christmas music. What's happening to us?
There's nobody playing in the Sphere.
U2's the only band playing in the Sphere, bro.
We're building concert venues nobody needs.
What does the world come to?
Remember earlier when I asked what age you start like complaining about the generation below? This is it. We've hit it. This is us right here. This is we're not going to be complaining about musicians. We're whining that Best Buy doesn't sell DVDs anymore. Like,
well, I don't know. It all does have this weird feeling of like we're all just pretending that everything's going okay. It's like none of the stores are selling anything anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine, though. It's fine.
It's like, that's okay.
You go into a store and there's nothing in it, but it's fine.
It's all on Amazon.
We build these $1 billion stadiums and nothing's in them. It's fine.
It's okay. Because it's pretty. Because look at it. Look how cool. You can't go in it, but look.
It's like you hear those stories of like when they send journalists to North Korea and they have all these like fronts of grocery stores that they pretend that have food in them all the time, and there's restaurants that are serving tables with nobody at them. It feels like we're at that stage in America right now where it's just like we're just performatively pretending that everything's going well.
Going through the motions, yep. Well, how about you guys go through the motions and hit that like button and subscribe? I didn't stumble over my words there.
It's fine.
Yeah. So before we go, how about you guys pimp your stuff? Where do people want to follow you?
Oh, well, if you enjoyed listening to us ramble about nothing, we do that almost every single week over at youtube.com/@HBO Max, HBOMAKS. We cool review, the cool HBO Max, the only HBO Max that still lives in this world. We do movie reviews, and occasionally we do another podcast that's us just kind of hanging out. Right now we're doing spooky season. We're reviewing horror movies, which McKenna hates.
Same.
I started last night's and I had to wait till the morning to finish it.
Really?
Yeah, okay, it was like 3 minutes in. I was like, I gotta wait till the morning. I can't do this right now.
Okay. Well,
a card hit and she went, no.
Yeah. Evil Dead 2 this week. Check it out. Yeah. If you want to just check out and see, keep updated with what we're doing, twitter.com/@HBO Max. You can also follow us on TikTok, where we just kind of clip out some fun parts of the episode. It's at Maximum Ruckus on TikTok. Maximum spelled MAK instead of MAX. You can follow me personally, being a dummy, on Twitter at Jose Ruckus, and all of the websites, because there's too many social media websites.
Yeah.
Threads, Blue Sky, the
Hive.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Is Hive still around?
Facebook, Instagram,
the other
ones, Snapchat, Discord.
Yep. MySpace.
It's all fine. Everybody.
Everything's
it's
fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. okay that we have 30 social media apps. It's all perfectly normal.
That's why Linktree exists.
We're doing all right.
And McKenna, how about you?
Oh, go listen. What do you do? Listen to HBO Max. I'll be there. I sometimes use Twitter, mainly to retweet HBO Max. If you want to see the retweets, go at PotterPants212. Sometimes I post cross stitches. In January, I post my Jeopardy stats. I tweet about twice a year.
Awesome.
They're always bangers, though.
The cross stitches always get me every time. Yeah. I get so excited.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's so nice.
All right. Before we go, just want to pimp out some of our content real quick because Austin and I, we did an Assassin's Creed Mirage review. That was a nice little one-on-one. Did good. And then we launched a new Pokemon podcast. So go check that out. Talking about our Jordan's Dream Pokemon game and working through trying to find what is the perfect Pokemon game. Until next time. Goodbye.